I know. I mean, we only got like a week to go, and elections are like right there around the corner, and I mean, you can almost like feel it, you know? I mean, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh, boy, there's the red light. I'm telling you, though, Andy, the rhetoric out there is like at a fever pitch. It's like there's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. I got to say, stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Bam, 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 bam. What? A little Buffalo Springfield? On a kind of, it's not chilly, it's just cool. It's going to get chilly. Rocktober morning. A Rocktober Monday morning. Yeah. You know, I got a feeling, Andy, whatever happens next week, it's just going to be the beginning. Any way the wind blows, anyway, I think that, what do we got here? I think that we got, yeah, I see it. All right, nice alert going on. Put that away. It's Monday, October 28th, and we've been, I guess, rocking all Rocktober long, Andy. It's the last day that we're going to be able to, I want to rock and roll all night, and party every day, and podcast every day. Yeah. Yep. Next stop, elections and November. You know what that means? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Well, it's the beginning. I'm singing along. I'm not serious. It's Monday. I'm just having my what? 4th cup of coffee. Before we get any further of our shenanigans that we got going on here this morning, I would like to remind you to like this video. Right down there, like this video. That's the little thumbs up or thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up, okay? Like right here. And and subscribe to this channel. There's like a rectangular, oblong, black thing or a white thing, depending on your background. It'll say subscribe. And then that's when you're subscribed to my channel. And when you get the Monday podcast or any other thing, it'd be like, you know, you're on your Monday morning. It's 8 o'clock. Actually, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock. And you're in the staff meeting or your Monday morning meetings or your Monday work schedule. And all of a sudden your phone's like, bee-boo, bee-boo, bee-boo. Yep. And you're being notified that it's time to do, you know, the podcast. You know, you're like, la-di-da, ready to do the day. And boom, here we are. All right. Remember, like and subscribe. Subscribe's right over here. The thing, the oblong thing, the subscribe. And the likes, the thumbs. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, man. Come on. And where do we got our props here? Andy. Right here. Big thank you to the folks down the hall, down at the Great Falls. Woo! We're getting crazy with the Great Falls Gazette. Telling you, Andy, They're just right down the hall from us, down the hall, down the stairs, $3 down, I tell you all the time. And they're growing by leaps and bounds, aren't they? Kind of paying attention to them. Now they're going to have a Sunday edition. I believe it's coming out. Did it come out yesterday? It's coming out yesterday. Sunday edition. Got the weekly editions that are going to be coming out. Still only $1. It's locally owned. It's locally operated. The Sunday paper will be what? $1.50, $1.25, $1.50. Okay. Yeah, like I said, local everything. Everything that the Tribune was 25 years ago, you have now to get Great Falls Gazette, like a $1. Wow, I'm going to buy 5 copies for my mama. Gonna see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh yeah, little Dr. Hook. Trying to get our cover on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Rolling Stone will do. Either one. Yep. You know, it's Rocktober 28th. And you know what this is? You know, it means, it's like, well, yeah, we got the shirt on. It's like, ow, werewolves of London. Boom, 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 boom. It's Halloween week. Have you seen the price of Halloween candy? Gonna have to take out a second mortgage just to buy. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I was over at Walmart. Well, I live by Albertsons, so I went there first. A little assorted bag of candy, like, like the Milky Way, Three Musketeers, Kit Kat, I didn't do anything for a Clark bar, it's like $30 a bag. I mean, last year, certainly this year, we're just going to turn off the outside lights, close the drapes, and kids come knocking, ding, ding, dong, you got any candy? We're just going to be hiding. Got the TV down low. Got the dog in the other room so he's not barking. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work, Andy. Locking everything up, right? Forecast on Thursday for the Great Falls area. Lower 50s, you're saying on me? Show me. Lower 50s. 50, 48, 49, 50, 51, somewhere in there. Dress accordingly. And be safe for the people that are opening. Leave your porch lights on. Those of us who can't shell out $180 for a couple bags of candy, turn your lights off, close your drapes. They'll know just to walk on by. All right. Andy, tonight I know what I'm doing. I'm watching Game 3 of the World Series. They're going to be in New York tonight. Dodgers are up 2-0. The Grand Slam game run, yeah. And Kirk Gibson all over again in Game 1, no doubt. The Dodgers are up 2-0. Late October baseball, man, in New York. It's going to be probably a little chilly, you think? Just a little bit. Always tell people, me personally, I'm a Detroit Tigers fan, or anybody that's playing the New York Yankees. What does that mean? Go Dodgers, right? All right. Like I said, Halloween week, just this Thursday, day after tomorrow. The bars and all the parties were this past weekend. They're Yeah, they're all this weekend. You're not going to do it. Yeah, Halloween's, right, Thursday. So you're not going to, right. They're all this weekend. Freakers Ball. There's been several trunk or treats going around in Great Falls. We had one here in the parking lot of Columbus. They had one in the Walmart parking lot. Boy, it sure was different when I was a kid, huh? Man, I was growing up in the Detroit suburbs. When I was trick-or-treating, that's where I lived. Didn't come out and move to Missoula till I was like in high school. So growing up, man, suburbs, we were out like in mass. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 60s, being a kid, trick-or-treating. Man, come on, there's like stampedes of kids. Stampede! Just kids running around, man. Literally hundreds of us. Oh, yeah, I remember, there was all sorts of functions. Yep, and I've talked about it before. I talked about it before. Andy's talking about, what about Devil's Night? I talked about it before, and Andy's like, what about Devil's Night? What about Devil's Night? Devil's Night, Devil's Night. Now, I talked about this, like I said. I think I did 2 years ago. Anyway, I'm from Detroit, okay? And growing up in Detroit, the night before Halloween was almost more fun than the night of Halloween, because you'd be out, doing pranks. It was like prank night. It was called Devil's Night. All right? And when it started out, Devil's Night was all like, la-di-da, we're going to do some small pranks. We're going to soap windows. You get bar soap. You're like, we're going to write flirt on their windows. Okay? TP, grab toilet paper, TP the house, TP the tree in front, right, the tree in front of the house. Harmless pranks. If you were really at someone's house you didn't like, instead of soap in the windows, use a candle the window, candle wax. They'd have to actually, soap windows you can just wipe off. They have to actually get out and work to get the wax off. That was evil. Let's go wax the windows. What else did we do? Oh, trash canning. Trashing. That's what we called it. The object of trashing was throw a garbage can that was sitting up right from the alley over the fence, make it loop once, and then land, boom. So it's sitting upright again. I had a friend in Missoula I grew up, Don Boffman. He's not out with us. Miss you, Don. We were great friends growing up. But Don was the master of trashing. Because the object was to, not spill any, land, and he could do it perfectly. The rest of us, not so good. There'd be trash everywhere. What are you kids doing in that yard? Oh, it's stampede! Out of here, right? So, and then somehow Devil's Night morphed into this, Andy? It morphed into this, we started I didn't start, but they started, especially in the city, that's after the riots, and once I moved away, Devil's Night turned into they're burning everything down, burning houses down, burning cars up, what, did I burn cars up? And I've refused the answer on the grounds of the Fifth Amendment. I plead the Fifth. I was just a kid. No, I wasn't burning the house down. Burning down the house. No, I wasn't, man. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Burn, baby, burn. Yeah. No, I wasn't. But that's what it morphed into. Is fires and riots and fights and lawless. Almost like the Purge. In Detroit without the murders. Wait. Oh, it was like the Purge. Just went like it. Yep. The night before Halloween, Devil's Night. they've kind of clamped down, got the clamp down on it now, but that was quite, culture shock when for me, when I moved to Missoula here, I'm here in Missoula, Montana, and people were like, whoa, dude, what's up? Because I'm like, it's the night before Halloween. And everybody's like, yeah, they're chilling. And I'm like, let's go soak the neighbor's windows and throw trash in the neighbor's yard. And maybe we'll burn a car or two up. And they're like, whoa, dude, chill. What do you, it's like Devil's Night was not, it was not in Missoula. It was like not Detroit. And people in Missoula were not in the 70s and early 70s not doing what the people in Detroit were doing in the early 70s. Everybody in Missoula, they're like all these hippies and loggers getting high and shit. And people in Detroit burning the city down. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pyromania. Yeah, come on. What do you want? I want rock and roll in Rocktober. Yeah, it was a pretty culture shock for the people out there that met me, They're like, whoa, dude, chill. Montana's like that, not like that. So, yeah, weird, Andy, weird. So we did a thing on the Moose Creek murders last week that happened in Gallatin County. Remember we talked about Dustin, was it Kearsum? There's nothing more, they don't know. There's released a couple things this week. They're like, we don't know. There's guns missing. There's a cooler, a Yeti cooler that's orange missing. What else? An Eastwood. It came out that he was hacked to death with an axe. Right, axe murdered. And it was an East Wing. They figure it was called an East Wing 21-inch hand axe. Because that's what he was hacked to death with, and it's missing from the campsite. Like I said, the Yeti cooler, the orange. There's a 44. Is it a 44 Magnum's missing, and another is shotgun. So, okay. So they know he was killed with an axe because it's missing. It's pretty obvious, all the autopsy to figure it out. And from his friend, they know that the firearms and the cooler's missing. So any information, Andy, any information, contact the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. Any axe murders. Hey, man, Andy, come on, man. Seriously, axe murderers. I mean, come on. It's like, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she had seen, when she had done, she gave her father 41. Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden. Yeah. Lizzie Borden is just much more than a heavy metal man. Well, we're talking about axe murderers, and I just thought of doing the Lizzie Borden thing. She was innocent, What do you mean she was? What do you mean what do you mean that's preposterous? What kind of word is preposterous, for starters? Yeah, she was innocent. Absolutely. Oh, come on, man. We have never talked about it, but I'll tell you what. We're talking, if you're going to talk about axe murderers and hatchet murderers, come on, it's like, well, wait a minute, Annie. Did someone say hatchet murders, like as in Molly Hatchet murders, flirt with the downstairs every day, baby. Yeah, okay. You knew I would go with there. Yeah, she didn't kill. Did she kill her parents? Is that what you're telling me? You're saying that she killed her parents, and I'm saying no, she didn't kill. Not so fast, cowboy. Let's look at what. Okay, let's look at what we know for sure. Okay, you can wiki this, you can Google this, you can true crimes this. There's a wealth of information out there about Lizzie Borden, the hatchet murderer and the heavy metal man. We're going to talk about the hatchet murderer right now. Andrew and Abby Borden, okay, that's what we know. Andrew and Abby were killed on the morning of Thursday, August 4th, 1892. Okay? People in the house, Andrew, Abby, a breakfast guest. Who was breakfast? Uncle. And there's Uncle Joe. He's moving kind of slow. Who was there? Andrew, the dad. Abby, the stepmother. Lizzie, the daughter. Her sister Emma was 15 miles away, had an alibi. She wasn't there. And Bridget Sullivan. Now, Bridget Sullivan was the live-in maid from Oregon. Like I said, Emma wasn't there. So you had the four, mom, dad, Lizzie, maid, Bridget. Now, after breakfast that morning, Uncle Joe left, and Andrew left for his morning walk. That's 9 o'clock sometime, right. Right there, right, 9 o'clock. And then the rest of the people, Lizzie, Bridget, Abby, stayed home. Okay? So you got the three girls at home. Uncle Joe and Andrew's gone for a walk. They're off the premises. Okay? So, sometime between the hour of 9 o'clock in the morning when he left and 10:30 in the morning, a.m. or so, Abby Borden was hatchet murdered to death. Okay? She was in the upstairs bedroom, all right? They were fairly certain that she knew the killer because she was facing the killer as the first blows that they could tell were to the face area, orbital. They hit her in the freaking face right here in the eye with an axe, okay? And spun her around, and then she fell down, and then somebody hit her 19, it wasn't 40 whacks, 41, but it was 19 times in the back of the head, till basically his skull was crushed, blood everywhere. Now, okay, we know that. They know that. They could time that they figure, okay, now when Andrew, now, he was out on his walk with Uncle Joe. They were gone. The three girls were home. Now mom's dead. Abby's dead. And the maid and Lizzie are still in the house. Okay? So, it's a huge house saying know where each other's at. Bullshit. Okay? When Andrew arrives home at 10:30, his key didn't work in the latch, so the maid, Sullivan, let him in. She then stated to investigators later that morning that she helped Andrew Borden, take his boots off so he could lie down on the parlor couch, right? In the parlor, right? On the couch. However, when police were dispatched to the murder scene, and if you go online and look at the pictures, they got them on there. They're not bad. You can see that his boots are still on. You can plainly see in the pictures, but she stated she helped him take his boots off so he could take a nap. Also, when the police are finally dispatched by around 11-ish, sometime after 11, okay, here's a couple big other things. When they were dispatched to the murder scene after 11, not only were Andrew Borden's boots still on, but he was warm. Yep. And when they went upstairs to Abby's body, she was cold to the touch. Rigor had already started to set in. Okay, blood was coagulated or whatever that would coagulated. She'd been dead a while. They said, she's been dead. Bye. Like I said, when they were down there at the parlor, Andrew's body was still warm. He was warm to the touch. Okay, still bleeding. Right, still pumping the blood from still, yeah. So you got the 4 people now in the house. 2 of them are dead. Lizzie, of course, was arrested, charged with 2 counts of murder. She stood trial in June of 1893. And about half an hour later, she was acquitted of murder. All charges against her. And like I said, well, of course she was, Andy. I mean, come on, man. They never found out the real murder weapon. They had no witnesses. The maid supposedly didn't see anything, heard stuff. Lizzie didn't see anything, heard stuff. No witnesses. There was no blood spatter on you. If you're going to bludgeon someone to death with a hatchet, hammer, whatever that murder weapon was for Lizzie, or allegedly Lizzie, you're going to have blood on you. Okay? She didn't have time. She didn't have time to bludgeon up 2 people to death, especially if Andrew's body's still the warm. He was just killed when the officers arrived. There's no blood. And Lizzie Borden answered the door. Yeah. Bridget was nowhere to be found, Andy. Yep. She showed up a few minutes later. Yeah, no signs of blood on Lizzie Borden, no blood on her dress, on her hands. Of course, they didn't have forensic CSI back then where they take under your nails and all of that. But you would think if you just killed your mom and then an hour later you waited and killed your dad, that you'd have blood all over you. Especially when the cops show up 10 minutes later. It's not like they had a shot. She had time to take a shower. Yeah, they didn't have indoor plumbing when they're in her house. If you look at the story, details about their home, they didn't have indoor plumbing. Right, in the house. Big mansion, yeah. But it wasn't big enough so that one of the girls, it wasn't big enough that Lizzie would be committing a murder and Bridget didn't know, or vice versa. Exactly. The maid did it. She wasn't a suspect. She was never a suspect. Yeah. Lizzie, she died at, 66? She was ostracized by society. The maid, Bridget, moved to Butte, Montana. Died sometime later. Yeah, Borden sisters, nobody, they're ostracized. Yeah, I think the maid did it. That's the only logical, like I said, no murder weapon that was found. They found the 2 hatchets in the basement. They thought one might have been it, but, it looked like dust was recently. Yeah, it was such a rush to judgment. Yeah. Yeah, it was, Andy. It was like, and then people think that Lizzie Borden, though, of course, is a heavy metal band, which they are. Yeah, but, we're talking about Lizzie Borden, hatchet murder, because, I don't know, because it's a Halloween, it's a Halloween week. Interesting enough, the whole Lizzie Borden trial and the whole conspiracy thing went along with it was its first media sensational, was the Mendez brothers, the O.J. Simpson trial of its time. It was the very covered coast to coast. Yeah, big media sensation, coast to coast. So everybody followed the Lizzie Borden murder trials. The metal band, not so much. Speaking of media sensations, did you see the 3-hour podcast that Joe Rogan did with former President Trump? Whether you agree with Trump, whether you don't agree with Trump, whether you agree with Joe, whether you don't agree with Joe. Just having the President of the United States, a candidate, on your podcast. Andy, wow. I mean, granted, we heard a lot of the same stuff that we've heard from President Trump for the last 4 years, but geez, I mean, any podcast would be, can you imagine if we had Trump here? Well, we'd have to make room and it'd be like, holy, or Kamala Harris, either one, yeah. What a feather in the cap of hats off to Joe. What a good job to have a guest of that caliber on your podcast. Andy, when are you going to book someone like that for us? You got the interview with Brian Bassett with Foghat. Why don't you get us more people to interview? How about that? All right. Andy, what are you doing this for? What does that mean? What is that I shouldn't meatball you want to buy. I'm so spicy meatball. What the heck? You're trying to do this, which means we're out of time. So I'm telling you, Lizzie Borden was much more than a heavy metal band, and now she didn't do it. It was the maid. Come on. All signs pointed at the maid. The maid hid the weapon, so the maid cleaned up while Lizzie was keeping everybody distracted. The maid did it. Maybe they had a thing going on. I don't know why the maid did it. How the heck? I'm not supposed to know all that. Remember, everybody, be safe this Halloween. Watch your dogs on Halloween night. Don't let them get out the front door with the trick-or-treaters. Spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Foster, rescue, volunteer. Hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Have a safe and happy Halloween, everybody. Until next Monday, we will see you later.